G'day guys, Steve with Broken Sprocket. In this video, I'm going to test out the new winch that I've put on the HJ47 Land Cruiser. I've recently purchased and modified my bull bar and put a winching plate on, and I've bought a Domin8r X winch. Those are the winches that you see at those four-wheel drive supercenter stores. So it was a fairly good price and it was on sale, so I thought I'll give it a try. So I'm deliberately going out today to get my four-wheel drive stuck, and I know the perfect place to get it stuck because I've had it stuck there before, and it took me and my son Zach, who's actually behind me today, a good hour to jack it up, jam stuff under the wheels to get it out, because I've only got the 31-inch tyres and I was probably stuck in 35-inch ruts. Now my car sits quite low because the diffs are pretty low, and it also has the leaf springs and stuff like that, and it just gets bridged on there and the wheels are in the air spinning and I can't get out. So it'll be a perfect spot to test this Domin8r winch and see if it can get out the HJ47. So let's get started. Okay, we've arrived at the place. I know this four-wheel drive can't get through because these are 35-inch bog hole ruts and I have 31s and a leaf sprung diffs and stuff, and all I will do is get bridged here, and I know I'll get stuck, so I'm going to have to find a tree, anchor up the winch, give it a good test and see if it will pull the Land Cruiser through these huge ruts. Zach's also here to help with the recovery. Okay, this is the ruts that I'm attempting to go through in the Land Cruiser. The last time me and Zach tried it, I got stuck at this section here. Both diffs were in the air. I was even out of the vehicle and the wheels were still turning. It was going nowhere. It took us about an hour to jack the vehicle up, chuck these logs and stuff you can see lying on the side of the track here under the wheels so that we could back it back out and give up and not try that section. So I'll give it a try and we'll see how good this Domin8r X winch really is. You can see under my car that the diff will hit and also these leaf spring hangers will hit, and that'll be on front and rear. As you can see, my diff has dug a huge trench here, and so are my leaf springs that stuck in real good. There's no driver in the vehicle and the wheels are just turning. They're nowhere near the bottom, and the worst is yet to come. The rear diff is also the same. Now, there's no one in that car driving it and the wheels are turning, it's going nowhere. It probably wouldn't even matter if I had lockers on this vehicle. It would need to be winched just simply because the diff housing is caved in that hard that it's not going to do nothing. The only thing that will save it would be a winch. Okay, this one here has also got wireless remote. Just hook that in, Zach. That's it. And the wireless remote will go, and you simply unlock the spool. Just run that spool at the rope out, Zach. Find a suitable tree. Let's go, Zach. We'll put in this dampener bag on it just in case it were to snap. It would all just drop to the ground with the weight of this bag. Flick the winch to engage. Now this winch here, you can either use the plug, which we're not going to try today, we're going to try the wireless. So simply push the wireless and that light turns on, so it should work now with the wireless setup. Okay Zach, winch in. Well, we're about halfway through it now. Zach's going to reposition the winch to another tree, and that was all winch. These wheels weren't touching the ground. I was getting absolutely no traction at all. And you can see the trench in the middle of here that my diffs and springs have dug. This one here is the diff, that one there's the spring hanger, this one here is the other side spring hanger. And just look at the trench this thing is digging. That was all winch. These wheels have not touched the ground. It might be better if we do a double line pull here, because this winch is under extreme pressure and it's really struggling now to pull this out of here. It is in very hard. Just look at the ditch this Land Cruiser is digging. It'd be like the shovel of a bobcat just digging in. And look at it here. It is completely just like a giant sled, basically just digging a trench. It's just digging a trench the whole way. Okay, we're going to set up for a double line pull using the D shackle and this snatching block. Well, it's not a D shackle, it's a bow shackle. Put that through here like this. Split our snatching block and run our cable through it like this, closing it back up to make the loop, and connect this to the bow shackle. Tighten and then just loosen a little. This one here goes back to the vehicle. Okay, when you use a double line pull, obviously you're using double the amount of your rope, and we've pretty much run short here, so I'm going to have to get the winch strap extension and hook that up to the vehicle so that we can use less rope. So hook this up onto this tow hook here, hook the extension up to the winch. Now that we are winching with a double line pull, the Land Cruiser winch is actually going slower, but with double the power. So after lots of winching, the Land Cruiser's wheels finally hit the ground and it came out on its own steam. There you have it, the Land Cruiser is out now on its own steam. So the Domin8r winch did that quite easily, and when we doubled it up, it was slower to pull, but it was pulling with double the strength. What did you think of it, Ruby? So there we have it, the Land Cruiser is now out and it dug a trench the whole way. So we'll see if Zach can get out with his car. He also has a Domin8r winch on his, he may not need it. Okay, Zach's gonna have a go in his Hilux. He doesn't have the same issues as my Land Cruiser because his diffs sit up a little bit higher. He also has larger tyres on his Hilux. And Zach's Hilux did that so easily with that higher diff center and actually having the independent front. It gives it a much bigger area, whereas my diffs hang out that low, it just gets stuck so easy. So that's our test with the Domin8r winch. Zach didn't need it on his, but as you can see, the Land Cruiser just digs trenches with those low diffs, and the Domin8r winch did it quite easily, and I'm quite happy with the purchase. It's a good low cost budget winch, and if you're considering a winch, it's probably worth considering. So if you like this kind of thing, consider subscribing, and we'll see you next time.